Hello, my sacred ones, and welcome to Sacred Sutra with Savina. In this episode, I wanted to talk about psychic abilities, what psychic abilities are, and how do we strengthen our own psychic abilities. Every single person is born with some sort of psychic abilities. I believe it's like cooking. You can teach anybody how to cook something, but some people are naturally more talented at cooking than others are. We can all spend time working on our abilities and getting better at them over time. So let's dive into the four main psychic abilities. We have clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, and clairsentience. And what that basically boils down to is clear seeing, clear hearing, clear knowing, and clear feeling. There are other clairs, but I just wanted to focus on these four main clairs in this episode. Let's start with clairvoyance, which actually happens to be one of my least clear abilities. I think I was too scared to see anything, so I told my guides, hey, I don't want to see shit at night or anything scary. And it's not that I don't see things. I do have visual experiences and clairvoyance experiences, but it's not my strongest. So what does clairvoyance look like? So clairvoyance might appear to you as a picture that pops up into your mind. You can also have very vivid dreams, or what we like to call straight dreams, meaning you dream something and it comes true. Most clairvoyant people are very good at visualization. So if you feel like you are clairvoyant, like you do see pictures, you do have images that come up in your mind and you see them later on in your life, then visualization is what you want to focus on in your meditations. You want to focus on visualizing the things that you want in your life, and that is how you're going to manifest things. What you want to do is you want to start to notice symbols, animals, colors, objects, anything that starts to pop up in your life when meaningful things are happening. So let's say something great is happening in your life and you see butterflies, and then every time something great happens, you keep seeing butterflies. Then you know that that's the symbol that your guides are trying to show you that, hey, something great is coming into your life. If you're having dreams, you want to notice, how do you feel when you wake up from this dream? Did it feel like my brain was just trying to process the day before? Or does it feel like this feels like something significant in my life? I feel like this is going to happen today, or this feels different from all my other dreams. Start to notice the difference between how you feel when you wake up from a dream. You can also notice every time you say to someone, I see this happening to you. That means you're tapping into your clairvoyant abilities. The key to clairvoyance would be to notice what is happening around you and notice the pictures that are popping into your mind. And remembering that visualization is your best friend. So when you want to manifest something in your life, your best bet would be to visualize what it is you want. So next up, we have clairaudience, which is my favorite ability because it's also my strongest ability, and to me it's the most fun because you can hear other people's thoughts. They show up as thoughts that are not your own. They're never negative or have an evil feeling to them. They just show up as a thought that you know it does not belong to you. So it kind of feels like you're having a conversation with somebody and they say something and all of a sudden you hear that was a lie. And it didn't come from you because you're listening to them and you just know that they're lying to you. It can also show up as songs that have significant meaning in that particular moment that you're hearing it. It also shows up as hearing exactly what a person needs in that moment of time. So, for example, you're cleaning and you will hear a voice or your guide say, message your cousin and tell them they're not alone. And you will message them and they will reply to you with a shocked face and be like, how did you know that I was feeling so alone in that moment? And it's because you got a clairaudient download. So with clairvoyance, your superpower would be being able to see things for what they really are. With clairaudience, it means that you're able to hear what people really need. And how do you develop your clairaudience? It's so simple. You just listen to yourself and you go with that. We're on to another fun one, which is claircognizance, which is the ability to know things, which is very fun for you if you have that ability, but it might be annoying for other people because you just know stuff about them all the time. This, for me personally, I would rank it maybe my second ability of being able to know things. You might be called know-it-all, which sucks because you might know a lot about a lot of things, but you don't know it all. And being a claircognizant, you know that you don't know it all, but the things that you do know, you're sure about. So how does this show up for people? A lot of the times it shows up as, I know I should not go to work today, so I'm staying home. And then you get a call later on that day saying, oh my God, thank God you didn't come into work today. We had like a small fire and it's been such a mess and I'm so glad you stayed home. Or that can show up as a friend is talking to you about somebody that you don't actually know in person, but they start explaining a little bit about this person and you already got downloads about who this person is, their type of personality, and just knowing things about them that you wouldn't ordinarily know. So your superpower would be decision making. Because you're so in tune with knowing, you would have a strong sense of who you are as an individual, and that will then give you the ability to make decisions. Now, that might not seem like a superpower, but there are a lot of people out there that don't live their full lives because they're confused by decisions that they want to make. They're too scared to make decisions. And because you have a strong sense of knowing, you're easily ahead of anybody else in life. Okay, so last but certainly not least, clairsentience. Now, this might be, I think, one of the most beautiful and connective of all the clairs because you're able to feel so deeply. And those deep feelings help you connect to others in such wonderful ways. So for most people, it shows up as deep empathy, or you have a pit in your stomach when you walk into a room and you don't feel well, you don't feel okay, you're so in touch with your feelings. And I know we like to focus on the negative side of clairsentience, which is feeling all the bad stuff that is around, and there is a lot of bad stuff, but when you are able to feel so deeply, you're also able to feel joy and happiness and connection with others. And when we live in that space, there is nothing more amazing than that. So this is another one of my strong abilities, and I know what it's like to feel deep pain for other people, but I also know what it's like to feel the excitement and the joy that people experience in their life. Mastering clairsentience is not the easiest thing because it means you have to keep an open heart. But your superpower is that you can feel peace, joy, love, on a grand scale, connecting you to the universe and all that it holds. So now that we've gone through all the clairs, I want to dive deeper into how can we strengthen these abilities. Firstly, it goes without saying, meditation is important. It's important because meditation opens up our consciousness so we can tap into spiritual realms. When we tap into the spiritual realms, we're able to feel and sense frequencies and vibrations that are difficult to feel in a materialistic world. It makes us sensitive to who we really are, which is our higher self. Now, what kind of meditation should we be doing? And today I want to focus on two meditations, which I think is the foundation or the groundwork for any spiritual practice that you'll be doing in the future. So firstly, it will be a grounding meditation, and secondly, it will be a protective meditation. Grounding meditations give us an anchor to the earth. We are earth beings. We do live on earth, so we always want to stay connected to our body and to the earth itself. So when you do a grounding meditation, you make sure that you always have an anchor into earth. So no matter where you go spiritually, you can always come back to yourself. And protective meditations are important because you always want to protect your frequency, your energy, your vibe, because there are a lot of negative entities and energies out there, and you always want to make sure that you are protected. You can find both grounding and protective meditations on my website, savinaleo.com. We can now go into the second part of strengthening your psychic abilities, which is trusting yourself. No matter how many intuitive downloads you get, how many nudges you get, how many times your guides talk to you, if you don't listen and trust your intuition, your abilities don't get stronger. So this is how your guides work. The more you listen to them, the more information they feed you, because they realize, hey, you're listening to us. I'm going to send you any amount of information that you want. The more you deny your truth, your inner knowing, it's the less it's going to show up for you. And then you're going to turn around and say, hey, this doesn't work for me. And it's not that it's not working for you. It's just that you're not trusting it enough for it to develop. Following trusting yourself is believing in yourself. Now, I understand how difficult that is because we have been taught from a very young age not to believe in ourselves. And if you did grow up with family or parents that did instill a great belief in yourself, you are one of the lucky ones. But for a lot of us out there, we were taught not to trust ourselves, not to believe in ourselves. So once you start to deprogram and do the shadow work in order for you to really start believing in you, then those psychic abilities are really going to start flooding into your life. So lastly, the best thing you could do to make your intuition flourish is to spend time in nature. Nature is natural at healing, at grounding you, at raising your vibration. It's just the most useful and free thing that we have. And I know with the pandemic, it's made it really hard for us to go outside and spend some time outdoors. But I don't care if it's a sliver of lawn or one plant that you have that you're keeping alive in your house. Just nurture nature and it will do the same for you. She's the one thing that we don't want to take for granted. And an easy way to ground would be walking barefooted on grass, lawn, dirt, just getting your feet in the vibration of the earth. Because what happens is the soles of our feet pick up the vibration from the earth and we can now channel that through our body. We naturally conduct the earth's energy, but because we live in wooden concrete houses or we wear shoes all the time, we're not able to conduct the energy from the earth. Therefore, we are denied that grounding ability. So the more we spend time in nature, the more we physically touch nature with our own hand, our own skin, that's when we get the benefits of nature. So I do hope this episode was helpful, and just please remember, trust in yourself, believe in yourself. We all have psychic abilities. It's all in us. You just need to spend some time developing that. Talk to you soon.